If there is a such thing as a mummy's curse, this one in this box has cursed this video. I have remade this video so many times now. We have had, battery problem with the camera. One time I forgot to do the audio. Power just went out. I don't know what's going to happen in this video, but we're going to find out together as we take a look at Home Depot's 72-inch animated mummy and compare it to the CVS 72-inch Grim Reaper that we took a look at in my last video. So, let me just throw this box down here on the ground. Hopefully I won't break a bone or something as I do that, but this mummy is sold from Home Depot. You can find it right now on their website still for sale, at least as of the making of this video. It retails for $100. I got it last year at the after Halloween clearance for $25, so I was thrilled with that. Now the animated talking Grim Reaper from CVS retails for $50. I also got it for $25 after Halloween last year. So I paid the same. They retail for slightly different, but let's see how they compare. Now the first thing you're going to see offhand is that the Home Depot mummy just comes with product packed in a box. It's just a distributor's brown cardboard box. There's no display box like you see with the Spooky Village Grim Reaper. The other thing that I noticed right offhand is that the instructions are almost identical. These are the instructions for the Grim Reaper. This is the instruction sheet for the mummy. The layout is the same. The assembly instructions are virtually identical. Now the mummy does have an additional hip movement, so that's explained within the instructions, but everything else is practically exactly the same, except for the little label in the corner. Now the Grim Reaper has a PAC label. I don't know what that stands for. It's a Spooky Village product. The mummy has Home Accents, which is the Home Depot line of products. So the only difference, well, those are the differences. Clearly it is the same manufacturer, at least that's my assumption. If you know any differently, let me know. But looking at the assembly again, it's the same sort of setup, the same same base materials in each as well. So I'm not sure if the hip movement really adds that extra $50 of value, because considering it's the same height, the same manufacturer, virtually the same quality. But let's take a look at it together. Anyway, I've already taken this out. These are the pants for the mummy. It is kind of a heavy-duty, thick material, but that is going to be a contrast to the body part, which I'll take out here in a moment. I've got to unbury it first. We do have the hip piece here, just like the last one of the Grim Reaper, but it's got the motor attachment, which is going to cause the body to move back and forth. That's the only movement difference in the product. We do have the assembly pieces here. Now, the mummy here does come with this handy little size chart to tell you which piece is actually what in case the little stickers fall off. So that's a nice little convenience if you ever needed it. Not sure if it's worth the extra $50, but who knows, it might be to somebody. Alright, I'll take out the body piece. Oh, the head is stuffed in the body cavity, so we'll just stick that there for the moment. Here is the body piece itself. It's kind of hard to tell the front and the back. You can tell the front, it's got this little dot in the middle, that's the motion sensor. And of course I guess the arms are in the front too, but when I first took it out, the arms just sort of flailed everywhere, you couldn't tell. The back does have a little flap here for the battery compartment. Has a demo, an off and an on. The on is going to be the motion activation. I don't know if it's sound activated as well, but we'll find out. But the best thing about this product is that it has a volume control, and that is a godsend, because certainly with the Grim Reaper, I couldn't stand how loud it was. It was just so in your face and hard to listen to. Got a couple of them here, and that is all that's in the box. So let's go ahead and put the box out of the way. Start assembling this guy. Alright. Just move his body piece out of the way here. Sorry about that light. So we've got basically 4 pipe pieces here that are going to form his body. It's just the exact same as the Grim Reaper. It's got these little locking pins that will hold it all together. Just snap them into place until the pin pops in. This one's a little tight. Oh, there we go. Alright, so base, then we have a couple pieces for his legs. Those into place. Now we get to put on his pants. Now, these pants, no matter how you try and fluff them up, always form this sort of pancake shape. It's kind of sad. What you could do is take pool noodles, especially the big thick kind, and just slide them over these poles to kind of bulk out his legs. You could also use maybe some bubble wrap, or, you know, if you're really desperate, you could wrap some towels and tape them in place or something. Or you could just leave them kind of flat looking. I don't know if they're gonna, hold some shape or not, but they tend to, as I've noticed, just keep falling in this flat pancake shape. So, just gonna push it down so we can access the stakes, pipes, whatever they are. And we'll put his hip piece on. Now, again, the hip is going to angle toward the back. And you'll see offhand, if you're looking closely, there's this red wire hanging down. There are a couple of pieces we're going to need to connect together to the battery compartment. That would be his head and his hips. So, once we have got this piece in place, you can pull his pants up. Now, this flimsy piece of plastic is very hard to deal with. I wasn't sure exactly how the pants are supposed to wrap around it. It does have a little lip here, so you would think that the pants would just sit on this lip, but I've actually found in practice it almost seems better if you have the pants go all the way over the piece of plastic. And this will just bend all out of shape. It's crazy. I don't like how cheap this piece of plastic is. But it does seem to work better again if you wrap it all the way up. So, there we go. He's starting to take shape. Look like a mummy. His pants are a little crooked, but you get the gist of it. Now, almost skipped a step here. We do need to put his torso pipe in again. It's just going to lock into place too. Now this piece has some nubbins at the top, and if we open up his body cavity here, you can kind of see it's plastic shell. It's got the mechanism in here with a little slot that this piece just slides right on top of. Maybe. There we go. So, kind of work his arm fabric out of the way, because all this just gets all in the way of everything, makes it a little hard to work with. But while we've got it up, we're going to connect this red wire. Go ahead and turn him around here. Alright, so I've got the wire coming up out of his pants, and the wire coming down out of his body. Just going to push them together. They only fit one way, so it's relatively easy. We're going to go ahead and pull this down. Now, of all the times I've made this video, this is the only time this piece of fabric has not come off or come loose. It just sort of sits around this plastic shell of the body, and you can see there's nothing really for it to hold on to. It just keeps sliding right off. They did, it looks like, hot glue it in a place, but I don't think they did it enough. It could certainly benefit from a little bit more hot glue. But you'll see it's supposed to just sort of drape over the pants to kind of hide the mechanism here and the fact that there's nothing in that gap. Doesn't do a great job, and this is again why you kind of want to pull these pants up over the top lip of the plastic, just because this doesn't go down far enough. Just kind of helps disguise, his body part. And then we'll just pull his green fabric down. Now this green fabric is very, very delicate. It catches in his arms, it catches on any possible thing it will, and it rips very easily. So these pieces just sort of dangle down. Unwrap it a bit. See, you can already tell his body caves in. And this, let me just turn it to the side. You can probably see that a little bit better this way. You know, when it caves in like that, it just looks kind of ridiculous. Let's go ahead and finish pulling. That's about as much as I am comfortable pulling it down, because like I said, this fabric rips very, very easily. But there we go. Alright. The last thing we've got to do. Now his arms are, supposed to be posable. Turn them again a little bit. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know how these connections work, if they're supposed to genuinely be posable. It doesn't seem like it. I mean, it moves. So maybe it's just supposed to have some movement as he moves around. But you can't pose the arms up and down. It won't stay. The only thing you can pretty much do is bend his elbow here a little bit. Feels like there's coat hanger type wire inside. And it keeps making those pops. I don't know if you hear that, but if you bend it too much, things pop. It makes me really nervous. Like you're breaking it. You're not breaking it, I'm breaking it. Someone's breaking it. But there we go. So the only thing left to do is put his head on. Connect it too. It also has some glowing eyes, just like my Grim Reaper. This one, however, they're kind of set in, so we don't have to hot glue them this time. Now there is just, this little piece of pipe out of his neck just slides right into the slot in his body piece. And we will just connect, again, this fibers of this fabric just get everywhere. It's all inside these connector pieces, but I'll go ahead and push them together there. Hide the wires, kind of tuck them in the body a little bit. But there we go. Let's see if we can just be starting up. I don't know why, I don't know why he did that, but anyway, there he is. The demo button is here on his arm, so let's go ahead and press it. Actually, I just want to see if I can get him to, I don't know. Alright, let's see what happens. There we go. Now, you probably couldn't hear him very well. He does make some groaning noises. I'm going to turn the volume up to maximum. Let's hear him again. Alright, maybe that was minimum. There we go. This is maximum. It's a horrible, horrible noise. So I think if we just play with it, I'm not going to do it now, but you want to get it maybe a happy medium somewhere where it's kind of a subtle groaning noise. A little too loud, it's very distorted. Now it's still 10 times better than the Grim Reaper over there. The Grim Reaper, he speaks, but instead of just doing words, kind of like he just does groans, the Grim Reaper also has background noise. There's some horse galloping, I think some thunder noises in there. It sounds terrible and you can't understand what he's saying. Fortunately with Mummy, I guess it doesn't matter because he doesn't say anything. He just seems to make that moaning, groaning noise. I'm going to go ahead and flip him over to... Alright. I put him on the on position. So, give him a moment to just stop here. And we'll test to see if he is sound activated. Okay, yeah. On is motion and sound activated according to the instructions. I guess it is helpful to read them once in a while. He doesn't appear to be stopping, so I'm guessing just the fact that I'm talking is keeping him going. So I'm not going to test the motion sensor because I'm not going to be able to tell if he's doing his motion. Oh. It didn't seem to really recognize my hand movement until I got pretty close. So I'm not sure how well either the sound or the motion is going to be. Again, this would be a product that would really benefit from a foot pad. I'm just going to flip him off. Flip him off. Maybe. Okay, come on. Maybe not. Let's try this again. So there we go. So what's the verdict? You tell me. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. Which one is better, the animated Grim Reaper or the Mummy? Give you a few seconds to do that. Okay. I hated the Mummy at first just because he was so difficult to put together. It took me a minute to figure out how the pants worked best and that little white piece of fabric there. But I've got to hand it to them that the hip, or yeah, the waist movement, I guess it would be, really sells it for me, especially since it's got that volume control and you can just turn the sound off and then, you just have it sort of standing there and then a trick-or-treater walks by and then he just starts moving. Is it an animatronic? Is it a real person? It's spooky. You leave that sound off the sound makes it obviously fake. I guess so do the blinking eyes, but what are you going to do? The hands kind of, wave around as he moves. The fabric, I can't stand. It is way too thin, but, I guess if you made it any thicker, it's not going to work any better, so, I'll give that a pass. I think, you can see flesh tones throughout, the hand pieces and the face. I guess that makes sense. I would almost expect it to be more of a skeleton, but this bothers me, this exposed, construction part. The fabric just doesn't do a good enough job covering it. But, overall, I like him. I think he's very creepy and fun, and, the movement is a lot better than I was expecting. Is it worth an extra $50 over the Grim Reaper? I would almost say probably. If your budget can afford it, why not? But if you can't afford it and you wait till the after clearance sales and you had to pay $25 for one or the other, he's clearly the better buy. Anyway, I will try and get you a shot of him in some lower light here at the end of the video. But otherwise, if you'd like to stay tuned, just a sneak peek at one of my future product reviews I also got along with him in the after clearance sales from Home Depot, the animated harvester product. It kind of looks like a scarecrow with a scythe and kind of looks very evil. So I'm excited to show him to you. But you're going to have to subscribe for that. Give me a thumbs up. I guess you don't have to subscribe. You could just watch out for it. But it's so much easier to subscribe. So hit that button and let me know what you think of this video. In the meantime, I guess that's it for now. Happy haunting, everyone.